Thank you. Now for the mayor's comments. First, I'd like to say my condolences to the Jackson family here in Snellville. Edna Moon Jackson, who was a lifelong Snellville resident, who was a member of Snellville First Baptist Church, passed away this weekend, and her funeral is tomorrow. So please remember her family in your thoughts and prayers today and tomorrow. It's been a busy couple of weeks. The council and I have been to a slew of grand openings here in the city. We went to the hospital groundbreaking for the hospital expansion, to the NTB grand opening, to the Del Taco grand opening. And yesterday I had the privilege of going to Integrity Christian Academy's grand opening in their new location, the old Gold's Gym building. I'm so happy to see that the Gold's Gym sign is finally covered up with something positive there. So good luck to Integrity Christian Academy and to all the businesses that have opened recently here in Snellville. I also want to give a thank you to Coach Carr and Coach Calvin and Principal Hunter at South Gwinnett High School. They invited me to attend the South Gwinnett High School soccer games this past Friday. It was very cold, but everyone braved the cold, and it was youth night. And so they had the youth teams from Briscoe Park and from Lenore Church Park there at youth soccer night, and the high school, they came out during intermission of the high school games. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for the Booster Club for providing me with hot chocolate, and to everyone's hospitality. I'd also like to thank Stuart Oberman tonight. As many of you have probably heard, Mr. Oberman has tendered his resignation that will be effective at the end of tonight's council meeting. Mr. Oberman is a fine attorney. He has taken a beating at times from this council and members of Snellville, and I want to thank him and let him know that his work has not been unappreciated, and wish you luck in your future ventures. Hopefully they won't be pro bono like this one has been. But thank you for coming in and doing a fine job for our city. We appreciate it. Also want to clear the air on a few things that seem to be the theme, or it's going to be a constant theme. I know that Councilman Howard wanted to talk about leadership versus authority. After our last council meeting, there were some issues here in the city of Snellville. As everybody recalls, council decided to hire their own city attorney. It was clear to me at that time that we were not moving forward in a direction that was beneficial to our city. I tried to reach out to members of this council for what was in the best interest of our city, and offer to make the law firm of Webb, Tanner, and Powell the city law firm, under the condition that Tony Powell cannot be the city attorney. I believe that Tony Powell has a conflict of interest with being our city attorney, but I offered that another representative from his office, I would appoint them to be the city attorney, the city law firm, if another representative from his office would represent us. That was rejected by my colleagues here on the bench. They asked me instead to consent to changes to our city charter. Changes that would take the authority of the mayor, the ability of the mayor to make appointments for the city attorney and for committees away. I believe that this council is calling a special called meeting this week on Wednesday, asking for a resolution directing the mayor pro tem to ask our General Assembly to make those changes to our charter. I do believe that changes to our charter are necessary, but I don't believe that our charter should be changed on a whim based on who is in a certain position in government. We're not a European country. We don't collapse our government just simply because we don't like who won an election. So I will urge our state and our House representatives not to support any changes to the charter at this point in time under this political climate and under these circumstances. Since Mr. Oberman has tendered his resignation, I have received resumes from several very qualified attorneys. About 6 or 7 city attorneys have submitted proposals to me. I've reviewed those proposals and narrowed it down to 2 attorneys who are both well-qualified municipal attorneys. Neither firm is from here in Gwinnett County. Neither firm has any political connections to here in the city of Snellville. To To be honest with you, either firm would be an asset to our city, and I hope in the next couple of days to make a decision as to the city appointment with one of those city attorneys. But it became apparent tonight, even though the applications of Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Harrison were made available to council at the last council meeting, even though we asked council if they had any questions or objections to please air those before tonight, and no member of council responded, became apparent that regardless of what appointments I could put up, that this council is not willing to work to move our city forward. Mr. Harrison and Mr. Mitchell are fine, outstanding citizens. They would have served our boards well. The same with the previous appointees that I have nominations that I've put up from in front of this council. I ask the citizens to take notice of what's going on in this city and to please contact your council members and your legislators and ask them to make a change and to work together to move this city forward. On a positive note, I also would like to thank Pastor Cantrell for offering his church. The next pastor roundtable is next week. Encourage any pastors out there that are not involved if they will contact us so that we can get them involved in that pastor's roundtable. Also, I will be having the Mayor's Student Roundtable meeting with the students from South Gwinnett and Brookwood High School. We're meeting this Thursday, and we will be working again on the promotional video for the city of Snellville. Finally, I am chairing the Snellville Days Parade this year. The applications are now available online. If anyone has an organization or just a group of people that would like to get involved in the Snellville Days Parade, we are looking for volunteers, but we're also looking for float entries. This year's grand prize for the best float is $600. The theme of this year's float parade is Proud to Be, and you fill in the blank. So thank all of y'all for coming tonight. Thank you for bearing with us. And with that, I will open it up to public comment.